and welcome back to another video. So, yes, a gaming pickup video, which is quite exciting. So, this is just a bunch of stuff I've gathered sort of over the last month or so of July and a bit of August 2025. Quite a lot, actually, considering I'm on a bit of a budget this month. But yeah, we picked up some stuff, and I figured it might be nice to just have a sit through it and see what we got. So, we'll do you in a moment. Starting off, I picked up one Switch 2 game. Donkey Kong Bonanza. It took me 2 days to finish this game, and it was good. It was very, very good. Yeah, what did I actually think about it? I think it's really solid. I think there's only one transformation in this game that I don't particularly care for, and that's the last one you get. But, other than that, the second to last one is easily my favourite. I won't go into spoilers here, but really solid game. A lot of really entertaining boss fights. You do and can unlock a boss rush mode, which I haven't done yet, and I will. But, yeah. I only collected about 300 of the bananas before I actually finished it. But, yeah, here's the kicker with that game. So, there are little... It gives me Wario World vibes. And I know that's a bit odd, but it's a game you don't typically see from Donkey Kong, much the same way Wario World is a game you don't typically see from Wario series, in that they're both 3D platformers with an emphasis on punching things. And they have these little maps, or these little challenge rooms that you can go into, and that's how you get certain bananas, or certain bits of the crystals to unlock the boss fights in Wario World. But it gave me that kind of vibe. It really genuinely did. Bonanza's a great game. It's a great game. It really should have been a Switch 2 release. Like, it should have launched on the Switch 2. Unfortunately, it didn't. Or it didn't launch with it. If it had, I'd probably be a bit nicer to the Switch 2's launch and gone, yeah, it was great. We got this. Instead, I had to wait a month before I got the game that, quite frankly, I probably bought the Switch 2 for. And I'm not kidding. I bought Mario Kart World. I think it's an aggressively mediocre game. I do. I think it's aggressively mediocre because it's just fucking Mario Kart again. That's all it is. Donkey Kong Bonanza, on the other hand, is weird. It's unique. I haven't played a game quite like this, apart from the vibes I get of Wario World. So, yes, a nice fresh start to my Switch 2 collecting that isn't just a port of fucking Cyberpunk and a mediocre racing game. Moving on. Not a whole lot of Nintendo stuff, to be fair. I picked up Donkey Kong Jet Racing. Maybe for the second time. I haven't actually checked, which is awkward. But, yeah, this game was supposed to come out on the GameCube and use the Donkey Kong bongos to play. And I have a sneaking suspicion it probably would have been better if that were the case. But yeah, I picked up 2 Donkey Kong games sort of within the last couple of weeks. It's pretty good. I have also picked up Pac-Man Party. It's a party game with Pac-Man in it. It's alright. Not too keen on the redesign of Pac-Man, but this was sort of like the 30th anniversary. So it was sort of that time where Pac-Man The Ghostly Adventures came out. Those games are okay, but Pac Party, haven't played it yet. I only got it like 2 days ago, so I haven't had the chance. And I also picked up Ghost Squad. So I've been on a bit of a bender with sort of arcade ports. And I remember seeing this in the arcade back in the day, and it just made me go, you know what, I really want some kind of main unit, something that can play retro arcade games. Even had a bit of an idea for an arcade system that might be a potential business venture, but let's see. I did pick up 2 other Nintendo games as well, and these were just there. These were like a £5 each, which not bad. Custom Robo 1 and Custom Robo V2. So, yeah, if you don't know what these are, which you may do, you may not, Custom Robo is a series where there are a series of sort of pseudo-RPGs where you build up a little robot guy and you go around beating up other little robot guys. They had one release in the Europe region, specifically Custom Robo Arena on the DS. America got Custom Robo on the GameCube, and then Japan got the rest of them with Custom Robo 1, Custom Robo V2, and I think a couple of Game Boy games that I don't particularly give a shit about. Again, I haven't played this, but I will. I will play them. I'm quite keen to. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. They're going to be playable on the. Well, I'm hoping they'll be playable on the Polymega. I've got that bastard plugged in the living room, so fingers crossed. Yeah. So mostly this. Oh no, actually, there are more Nintendo games. Shocky, ding dong. Yeah. Okay, maybe there aren't a few Nintendo things. In fact, it's mostly Nintendo. But I did pick up 2 more GameCube games. Ikaruga. Yeah. I mean, it's Ikaruga. It's a bullet hell style of game, which, let's be perfectly honest, not my favourite. Not my favourite in the slightest, but not bad. Yeah, picked that up. I traded in my Atari 2600 Plus because I never fucking used it, and it was pointless. So I picked up this, and I picked up 1080 Avalanche. I have such a soft spot for... I have no idea why, but I've got such a soft spot for snowboarding games. I really, really like SSX. So a GameCube exclusive that I don't own of a snowboarding game, right up my alley. All over. Yes, please. Gimme. Go away. We'll get to the PlayStation stuff in a moment. Pick up the miscellaneous in a moment. But yes, I picked up some Xbox stuff. So I picked up Hunted the Demon's Forge, a dungeon crawler, not my favourite genre, for the Gears Age. Yeah, it's sort of a Gears of War aesthetic dungeon crawler, which, cool. It has system links, so not complaining there. But yeah, I mean, okay. Published by ZeniMax. And Bethesda back in the day. How long ago was that day? 2011. So I do remember this sort of being announced. I think Yahtzee talked about it briefly, and he said it was crap. But I think there's a way to make, yeah, with the intensity of a modern day shooter, which, okay, sure. Why not? I've basically picked up 2 really crappish games. I want to know what your thoughts are on Hunted the Demon's Forge. Is it any good? Haven't played it. Naughty Bear. Don't ask. Picked it up again. Not getting it again. Not buying the Golden Edition. Don't care. Yeah, I picked up Naughty Bear. It's a serial killer teddy bear. I mean, what's not to like? Even though I have played that game and it's shit. And then finally... I'll be honest with you, this isn't a series I'm particularly fond of, but Splinter Cell Double Agent, which I picked up because I'm tangentially interested. I like the idea of you play as a double agent with a bit of a branching storyline, so you can either lean into being a bit of a criminal and lean out of being a bit of a criminal and sabotage them on the go, which sounds pretty cool. But yeah, I mean... Yeah, not bad. It's like £2 out of a charity shop, I'm not going to complain. And finally, on the Xbox front, yay! Yeah, I really like Panzer Dragoon Auto. I love Panzer Dragoon. I need to do an updated video. I probably will. It's been a long time. But I picked up the strategy guide for Panzer Dragoon Auto, mostly because I just like owning some strategy guides for very specific original Xbox games. So I own them for Advent Rising, Brute Force. There's the other one. Advent Rising, Brute Force, and Goblin Commander. Those are the ones I predominantly own for, and now Panzer Dragoon Auto. I still want to see if there's one for Razor's Hell. There probably isn't. And I want to see if there's one for... I know there's one for Stubbs the Zombie, so I want to pick that up as well. But yeah, I thought this was just kind of a cool thing to own if you like Panzer Dragoon, and it is. It sort of goes over everything, as well as some bits and pieces about the expanded Pandora's Box unlockable crap that you can get, which is pretty neat. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you can just leave the console on for about 20 hours and it'll unlock everything by default, which is cool. I just haven't got around to doing that yet. One day I will. One day I will. But yeah, not bad. The miscellaneous section. Yeah, Nectaris for the PC Engine, Volume 16, whatever the fuck that means. But yeah, I picked up Nectaris, which is also known as Military Madness in the West. I have played Military Madness Nectaris, combo name, for the Xbox 360. And I saw Johnny Millennium from Happy Console Gamer talking about this game, and I was like, you know what, it's £9. Why not? Why not? Looks like fun. Thought it'd be kind of cool. This is a birthday. So this next game is a birthday present from a friend of mine for Far East of Eden Kabuki Den. Now, I'm not super familiar with this particular JRPG series, but this is something I've wanted for a little while. This is the PC Engine CD version, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to see if I can find an English patch that I can apply to this, hopefully to use through the Polymega, so I can give this an actual solid go. Because it's a cool idea for a series. So if you don't know anything about Far East of Eden, and I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce its actual name in Japanese, because I don't know what it is. Or I do know what it is, but I can't pronounce it. If you don't know what it is, the idea is it's a parody RPG, sort of similar to something like Parodius or Puli-Rula, where the whole of it is set in a place called Japing, which is a parody of Japan, but it's using Western stereotypes of Japan, which I really like that idea. I do. I like, it's kind of, you know what, it's like Fallout London. It's like they went, right, what's a bunch of British references we can shove into a game that, well, let's be perfectly honest, is set in a world mostly ruined by America. Kind of like our world. No, I'm joking. But, yeah, similar idea. Like Western stereotypes of Japan, and then making it in Japan. Sounds awesome. Sounds really cool. By the way, if you haven't played Fallout London, there is a reference to the Yogscast in it. When you get to Parliament and your intelligence is too low. They're like, you released a sentient talking crab. And he goes, crabs are people. Legit or quit. There's also a reference to the Horrible Histories Monarch song in Fallout London, in the Tower of London, if you go looking for it, which is pretty sick. So yeah, heartily recommend that game, by the way. I am going to play it. I'm getting a Steam Deck probably end of the month, and we'll go from there. So what else did I buy? Ooh. Alien vs Predator for the Atari Jaguar. Yes, so I have actually owned this game a couple of times. I have owned it a couple of times. The first time I owned it, the bloody cartridge didn't work. Cool. So I sold it to CEX. They took it, which is hilarious. Then I bought another copy, which did work, which was nice. I think this version works as well. I haven't actually tested it, but it's from a reputable source, so not complaining. But that second time I owned it, I actually sold my Jaguar back in 2022. Yes, 2022. I sold it in 2022, and then I bought a new one, because the one I sold didn't sort of work. It did work, but it didn't work very well. So now I've got way more Jaguar games than I had back then. I'm still missing a couple that I don't own. Hover Strike is sort of the last major one I actually am interested in before we start getting into the ludicrously expensive stuff. But yeah, AVP was a big one. It's kind of the killer app alongside Tempest 2000, so why not? And then finally, this isn't a game that's new, but the case is. So, Magic Knight Rayearth. Yes, so I bought the game from America. A friend of mine at the time brought it back all the way. From there, it cost me 36 quid. Yeah, that game cost me £36, which is fucking nuts. And then, yeah, she brought that all the way over, which was really nice for her. We're now no longer friends, but that's for different reasons that I won't go into. But it didn't have a case. So for the last 10 years, I have kept Magic Knight Rayearth in a Wii case, and it has pissed me off ever since. And I've always been like, one day I'll get a case for it. A friend of mine got it for me. Yeah, full colour manual, still sticky, which is not great, but actual legit looking case, and it just looks good. It just looks really good. I'm very, very, very happy with this, and I'm so happy Magic Knight Rayearth finally has a decent case. The only one I'm missing now is Cubable. I'm pretty determined to get a decent replica manual and a decent replica case for that. So, what's next? What's next on my list? So, you may recall a couple of weeks ago I did a Double Fine anniversary, which was pretty cool. Shortly after that video, I found these. So, more specifically, let's see if I can grab all of them. That would be pretty neat. These. So yeah, if you don't know what these are from a Double Fine game called The Cove, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's a game I did quite enjoy growing up. I say growing up, I was 18 when it came out, but the point still stands. Yeah, and these little figures came out for the 7 playable characters at the time. They are absolutely... Come on. Focus on the bitch. Anyway, yeah, they came out a long time ago, and unfortunately, oh, she does stand up. Excellent. Fortunately, I missed out on getting them. So these cropped up on eBay, and I went, I guess that's mine then. So yeah, I grabbed them. I'm quite happy with them, to be fair. I think they're excellent. I think they're really, really cool. Yeah, so I grabbed all 7 for about 60 quid, which, not bad. Shipping from Denmark, so once I redo the Double Fine shelf, because it's now the Double Fine shelf, it's no longer the Brutal Legend shelf, it's the Double Fine shelf, because Double Fine is slowly creeping its way in there. When the big PC release that they have done through Limited Run finally gets to my doorstep, yeah, I'm going to have to redo that entire shelf. They're going to have to redo the entire fucking thing, which is cool. Great. But never mind. Anyway, so yeah, these are really cool. I'm really happy to have them. They're going to go back on the shelf they are current. Come on. Behave yourselves. I'm going to quickly go back on the shelf before I forget where they go. It says Series 1, which is hilarious because there never was a Series 2. But yeah, so that's cool. Got all of those. Yeah, final batch. Now, my Game of the Year of 2023 was RoboCop. It's very, very possible that my game of 2025 is RoboCop, because this game is excellent. I beat it in like a day. I did. I'm not joking. I beat it in a day, which is pretty cool and totally worth the game. So yeah, this is a sort of standalone DLC for RoboCop Rogue Sutter, which came out in 2023. This game is considerably more linear. There's no real backtracking, and unfortunately no New Game Plus, which is naff because the first one has it. So, come on, get on it. Get on it, lad. Get on and give me my fucking... Seriously, though, give me. I want to play through this game again with full-blown, like, leveled up everything. I think it will be awesome. But yeah, solid game. Probably going to be my game of the year, alongside Donkey Kong Bonanza. Though, at the moment... You know what? At the moment, it's still Plucky Squire. That game is still up there, and then swiftly followed by these two, because they're really good. Finishing off, yeah, I picked up a few PS VR titles, and I picked up a couple of games that I just didn't have already, including Dreams, by the guys that made Little... It'd be nice if Limited CEX would keep their fucking shit in the case. That would be great. Bastards. But yeah. So I picked this up. I know they've discontinued the servers now because they're fucking lame. But, yeah. And apparently this is a German copy. Why do I keep buying from CEX? Anyway, never mind. Yeah, picked up Dreams, which is pretty cool. That was part of the trade-in involving the two GameCube games. Also picked up Rage 2, because the first one was so good. No, this is just basically id. This is basically id having a go at Borderlands and doing it better, because fuck Borderlands and fuck that greasebag Randy Pitchford. He is a dirty bastard. And yeah, I picked up 4 PSVR games for pretty cheap, because I'm planning on getting a PlayStation VR at some point. Just they're not very expensive now. They're like 80, which is... In fact, they're probably cheaper than that now. You can probably get them very, very cheap, so I will probably pick one up. Skyrim VR, because Skyrim. And I want to see what VR does to it. Probably butchers it heavily, but never mind. Ghost Giant, which looks cute. I mean, you're a giant in VR, sort of controlling things to help a little mouse. Cat. A little cat, not a mouse. A cat. Doom VFR, which... It's Doom, but in VR, and not as good. But to be fair, I'm not a huge Doom guy, so it doesn't matter. And then finally, Eagle Flight. Yeah. I mean, flying around skies of Paris. Pretty cool. And then VR died a horrible death. It did. VR died off for a lot of major companies. They're just not making them. Which is fair, because it's very nichey. Anyway, that's another video. Next week is going to be a video on Rare's 40th anniversary, because we've done Double Fine's 25th. Why not do Rare's 40th? I have been meaning to talk about my experience with Rare for quite some time, and I just haven't got around to it. So, how's as good a time as any? Anyways, guys, I'll see you next week, and have a great day.